we're 11-3, and we're going to work our asses off to be 12-3. And I love coaching these guys, and it's not perfect, and none of us are. And this happens in the National Football League, and it's 83 days since we lost. We went 83 days, and it was a good run, and we have to start another one.
Mike Vrabel talking about the message of the team after the loss to the Bills on Sunday. And yes, they're 11-3, but they're 0-1 as it relates to what just happened. And they were up 21-0, and the game fell apart. And look, Vrabel, he knows his job, he knows his business, but I mean, big picture things are great, but there's cause for concern after what happened on Sunday. They had the opportunity to nail down the division. They had the opportunity to push the Bills toward possible playoff elimination. You would prefer not to see the Bills in the postseason. You don't want to ever see a division rival in the postseason because they would love nothing more than to be responsible for ending your special season. And it all just disappeared. 21-0 disappeared. And I think that in and of itself, the fact that it happened against the Bills in that spot is cause for, I don't want to say panic, but it's cause for alarm.
Yeah, but I do think what Vrabel said is real. Like, you're 11-3. You're in a situation that I don't think anybody expected you to be in. I don't know if you expected to be in that situation. So you have to hold up. Let's not panic. I'm sure Monday was highly, highly critical of everybody involved. I'm sure they went through everything of talking about exactly what you just said. We're up 21 points. Just if we make 4 plays in the second half, we probably win the game. Just 4 impactful plays, we win the game, and we do everything but that. And I think that's the thing as a coach. There's a fine line of creating a sense of urgency on, hey, it's this time of year, but also not turning it into a panic situation because you lost, one game. And again, I agree with you. I don't think New England necessarily wants to play Buffalo again in the playoffs. I don't think it's a great matchup for them the way that they're built right now. I think they have to get healthy. They played, Sunday without Milton Williams, who was on IR, and Robert Spillane was active, but he didn't play a snap in the game. So those are guys that are key for them. So I think Vrabel's trying to make sure, and I'm sure he was digging into those guys. I'm sure it's going to be a rough week of practice because now you talk about not wanting to play Buffalo or see Buffalo in the playoffs. I think every team in the AFC would rather not see Baltimore in the playoffs as well and keep Lamar Jackson out of it. So they'll still be in a good, decent situation playoff-wise. Now, you lose Sunday night, you might lose that division with Buffalo right behind you trying to get back into it. But I do think that he's going to make Sunday night a big deal. We have a chance to kind of possibly close out another team in the AFC and end their season and also make our situation better in hope of, hey, it's still alive for the 1 seed. We don't know what's going to happen in Denver. Maybe they lose 2 more games. Like, we don't know. But we're saying, hey, how do we turn each one of these last 3 games into a playoff game? Because possibly we could get a break and get a bye week if we keep winning and Denver slips up or somebody else slips up.
That's a big game, though. And that's a low-key heated rivalry. Even though Bill Belichick's not there anymore, it's different without Belichick there. There was a lot of stuff. There was that divisional round game from 2014 with the whole issue with the substitutions and Harbaugh not happy about that. And then there was the suspicion, if not reality, that the Ravens were the ones that instigated Deflategate by telling the Colts that the balls were deflated. And there's just been some animosity between the organizations. So that makes for a very good. I'm not trying to sell the Sunday night game on NBC and Peacock. It sells itself. Ravens hosting the Patriots. Big, big game with a lot of ramifications for both teams. Here's Vrabel on whether or not there's anything positive to be taken from blowing the 21-0 lead against the Bills on Sunday.
The way that we started the football game is how we wanted to start it. It was just being able to sustain, and the whole emphasis was that this was going to be an identity matchup and battle for 4 quarters. We knew that that's what this was going to be. A lot of examples of the Bills not panicking and having a veteran football team and being able to come back in the second half and make some plays. And so, we'll have to learn from this, and it'll only be a good opportunity from a loss as if we learn from it.
And that is the key. You find anything you can use to try to prepare yourself for the next situation when you're up 21-0 and you're trying to hang on. Or what can you learn from it that could maybe help you to reverse a deficit like that? And it helps to have Josh Allen. Josh Allen reminded us all. And we can talk about Matthew Stafford, Drake May as MVP finalist, but Josh Allen is making up some ground too. If they pick off the Patriots and win that division, Josh Allen is, in my opinion, the best player in the NFL right now. The stuff he does is phenomenal. The throw he made when he was buying some time, I think it was to Dawson Knox. I mean, absolute laser. Just even impressive when you expect it. Even when you know this is the guy, yeah, he can do this. When he does it, it's like, holy crap, what did he just do? He's incredible. He's beyond incredible. And he's one touchdown away from getting to 300 career total touchdowns faster than anyone in NFL history by 8 games. Aaron Rodgers has the record, and he got 3 on Sunday, Allen did. He's 1 away from becoming the fastest in NFL history to be responsible for 300 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think to what Vrabel's saying, like, one of the things you learn is for some of those young guys, you haven't always seen a guy that can do what Josh Allen does. Like, yes, you watch it on film and you see it, but I always think about Josh Allen and people jumping for the pump fake. Like, you watch that over and over again. Don't jump. Hey, get under control. I know you were going to get a free guy on this sack, but we got it. And they got to Josh Allen 2 or 3 times in that game. He made a move, he pump faked, and he ran around somebody. And I think that's the reality of, hey, if we have to play this team again, however good you think this guy is, if we play him again in the playoffs, multiply that by 100. Because in the playoffs, and I get it, everyone likes to bring up the few bad plays he's had. In the playoffs overall, and I'm speaking from experience, 2021 playoffs, we didn't get one stop on defense. They scored every time they touched the ball. The guy was unbelievable. I played him in a game where it was super windy. No one could throw the ball. You know who could throw the ball? Him. Like,
Josh Allen.
Sometimes you need to
I remember
see that up close and personal. Like, you need to see it. And for the Patriots, if they have to play him or you name anybody else, you're going to be ready for somebody taking over a game. And no one can quite do it like him. But now, like that first game, they played him. He had some mistakes. Young guys are probably like, we can handle Josh. No. Each game is different with Josh Allen. He has the ability to do things that no one else can do in the league. And he did a little bit of that Sunday. But they still didn't get the full Josh Allen effect that he could have on the game. And I think in the playoffs, that's why everybody's scared to death of Buffalo, because of what he can do.
And I think, you mentioned the ball fakes and falling for it. It's as simple, I believe, as the playground. When you got kids running around on the playground, there's always the one who is bigger and faster and stronger than the other kids. And they can do things like they do stutter step or whatever it is, and you're like flopping all over the place like a moron because and I was always the one flopping around like a moron. Like, you're trying to catch the kid that's maturing faster, and he's just he's the one that no one can stop. And the harder you try, the more likely you are to fall for anything he does to throw you off because you're so determined. Yep. You're trying so hard to get him, and you just can't. The Bills are still trying to catch the Patriots. The Patriots are favored to win the division, but watch this closely. Even though the Patriots have better odds to win the division, the Bills have better odds to win the conference championship. The Bills have better odds, 8-1 versus 15-1, to win the Super Bowl, even though the Patriots have the better odds to win the division. And that just speaks to the history, the playoff history. I don't know that. Look, every time the Bills and Josh Allen get back, one of the realities is you got to get them to forget about all the times they've failed. You got to get that out of their heads, and I think that's real. That's why it's an opportunity for the Patriots, Devin. If they get there, you set your new narrative. You don't. You take it. The importance of winning in your first postseason as an iteration of a team, I think, is critical because you don't want to have that Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Ravens, Bills narrative because it creates more and more pressure with each passing year that you don't deliver a Super Bowl appearance.
No doubt about it. And I think the main thing is you got to say, hey, this is a reset. This is a new season. Everything else is gone. How can we be our best possible team right now in the playoffs? And Vrabel has experienced that his whole time as a player and when he was in Tennessee as a coach. So I think he'll have this team ready. Remember, when Tennessee went on that run in the playoffs in 19, I believe it was, no one expected that. So I do look to see maybe something like that for New England.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.